Until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter. Funny how we all just accept that, isn't it? Like it's the natural order of things. The hunter wins, the lion dies, and we all go home feeling good about the neat little story we've been told. But what if I told you there's more to this? A side of the story we'll never get to hear. You see, the hunter always gets the last word. And the lion? Well, the lion just fades into obscurity. But let's not jump ahead. Let's go back, way back, to where this all begins. Ah, the hunter, our noble protagonist, the one brave enough to march into the wild and tame the beasts that threaten civilization. He's the hero of every story, isn't he? The bold, courageous figure who defeats the mindless, dangerous animals. I mean, what would we do without the hunter? He's a legend, a protector. But wait, who's telling this story again? Oh, right, the hunter is. Sighs. Of course, he's the hero. He's got the pen. What a surprise. The hunter is victorious. The lion, not so much. Reduced to a trophy, a lesson for the ages. Don't mess with the hunter. But this story, it's missing something, isn't it? A voice, perhaps, a different perspective. But the lion, oh, the poor lion, never gets that chance, does he? Too busy being dead. The lion, king of the jungle, they say. Fearless, unstoppable, a symbol of raw power. Except, not in this story. No, in this story, the lion is nothing more than a footnote. A villain, a savage beast that needs to be tamed. And why? Because the hunter said so. The hunter wrote the story. And the lion can't write. This is the tragedy, isn't it? The lion doesn't get a say. The lion's side of things, irrelevant. You ever wonder what the lion's story might be? What it would tell us if it could? Of course, you don't. Because the hunter's version is all we've ever known. And why bother questioning it when it's so much easier to stick with the familiar, the simple, the comfortable? This isn't just about lions and hunters, is it? Oh no. This is much, much bigger. This is history itself. History, as we know, is written by the victors, the winners, the ones who survive long enough to hold the pen. They decide what gets remembered, what gets forgotten, and who gets to be the hero. The losers, they vanish. Their stories fade, their voices silenced, just like the lion. Think about it. How many stories have we been told over and over again without ever stopping to ask, whose version is this? How many lions have been erased, their stories buried beneath the hunter's tale of glory? But that's the power of the pen. It shapes reality. It decides the narrative. And if you're not holding the pen, well, you're not even part of the story, are you? The lion isn't just a lion, is it? No, the lion represents all those voices we've never heard. The ones whose stories were twisted, erased, forgotten. The ones who didn't get to hold the pen. The ones whose stories we'll never know because the hunter didn't want us to. The lions of history. But here's the real tragedy. The part that should make us pause. We could look for these stories. We could dig deeper. Question the hunter's version of events. But do we? Do we even want to? Or are we too comfortable in the hunter's tale to care? I suppose it's easier this way, to let the hunter have his victory, to never question the silence of the lion. After all, who wants to disrupt a story that makes us feel good, that tells us the world is as it should be? But the silence of the lion is deafening, isn't it? If you listen closely enough. You've heard it before, haven't you? The pen is mightier than the sword. But let's not forget the pen is a weapon too. And the hunter wields it with precision. with control. The pen rewrites history, erases voices, twists reality into something that serves the hunter's purpose. And the lion? Well, the lion doesn't even know how to hold a pen. Imagine if the lion could write. Imagine the stories we'd hear. Imagine how quickly the hunter's tale would crumble under the weight of the lion's truth. But that's the point, isn't it? The lion will never write. And even if it could, who would believe it? After all, the hunter's version is the one we've always known. And we love a good hero. And so, the lion's story remains untold. The hunter's story remains glorified. The truth? Well, that stays buried with the lion. Because until the lion learns to write,